Hi, I'm Marla Diamond, and welcome to WCBS 880 Author Talks. I'm joined by Masih Alinejad, an Iranian journalist who has written her memoir, and it's called The Wind in My Hair. Welcome to Author Talks.
Thank you so much. Thank you for having me.
You have great hair, by the way.
Uncontrollable.
And big hair, and you write about growing up in a strict Muslim family in a small northern Iranian village where you had to cover that beautiful hair, even around members of your own family. And you saw this as an injustice, and I'm wondering, how did you reach that conclusion at such a young age?
Some people might think because I had too much hair. It was too, big to cover them up. That's why I just came out with the idea of fighting against, compulsory hijab. But the thing is, when I was a little girl, I had no clue about equality, like freedom of choice, nothing. I had a little brother. So he was 2 years actually older than me, but he was my example, like, of all the freedom that I was envying. I wanted to have it. Like, he was really free to run in a beautiful village and enjoy his freedom, like feeling the wind in his hair, jumping into the river, riding a bicycle. But I was not, because I had to be a good girl, a proper girl in my traditional family. So that is why actually I just found out, I want to have all the freedom that Ali has. So I started to complain and to ask Ali to help me, to be with him and enjoy my personal, freedom and fighting with my family for all these kind of restrictions.
So you wore the hijab and a robe as well?
Yes.
So
in Iran,
completely covered up.
You have to cover all your body. Just, you can show off your face and hand, then that's all.
Even for small girls, is that traditional in most Muslim majority countries that girls have to dress this way? Most of us think of it as married women dressing this way.
Look, from the age of 7, all girls, when they start school, they have to cover themselves. But in my family and some other, conservative family, we had to wear hijab even in front of my brothers and my father. But the law actually asks you to wear it from the age of 7, but the Sharia laws asking you to wear the hijab from the age of 9. I know it's complicated, but Islamic Republic of Iran actually is more, it sounds like more restrict than the other Muslim country, because we have to wear it from the age of 7. If you don't wear it, then you won't be able to go to school. You won't be able to get a job. You won't be able to live in your own country if you say, no, I don't want to wear this.
And it was always that way for you. You were born slightly before the Iranian Revolution in 1979, but you generally grew up with this mandatory hijab law.
Yeah, I was only 2 years old, which my parents and other people, they were hoping for greater freedom, because we already had social freedom.
Right.
Women were allowed to choose what they want to wear. Women were judged. Women were, participating in special sports. They were allowed to enter stadiums, a lot of things. And as I said in my book, that I wanted to play like football and enjoy myself, and then I couldn't, and I was just like telling my dad that, there are a lot of pictures of women, they were allowed to ride a bicycle, they were allowed to go to stadium, and they were saying that, these are like good for you. And we actually, they were brainwashed. I don't want to say anything bad about my parents. They were brainwashed that all we had before the revolution was corrupted, and now this is a proper Muslim country. And I have to say that that revolution actually became the revolution against Iranian women, because we lost all our freedom.
So what's the penalty if you don't have your hijab on?
Oh, that's a good question. Look, if you don't wear hijab, then you will be fined. You will go to prison, between like 2 and 10-month prison. And as I said that, you get, you won't be able to go to school. But the thing is, if you protest against hijab, you don't wear it like by purpose, that's totally different. You will get like 2 years prison. You can get 72 lashes. But for me, it's beyond that. It's about my identity. It's about my dignity. I hate when there are like men telling me what to wear. So the punishment for me, it's more about, you know, humiliating me and patronizing me and telling that, you know, even the 60% of university are women, but you are not mature enough to choose what you want to wear. So the punishment, according to the law, was that. But the thing is, within a year in Iran, as police of Iran announced, 3.6 million women were warned, just not because they were unveiled. They were sent to the court. They were warned. They were warned. They were stopped, and they were like being punished. Why? Because they were like having inappropriate hijab. It means that, you know, some of your hair was out of your headscarf. So the punishment is not just about being unveiled. It's about not wearing appropriate hijab as well, and it's about the men behind it and the philosophy behind compulsory hijab.
Well, you have founded a movement, MyStealthyFreedom, and with the hashtag, it's really taken off, and it's led or been sort of the focus of a lot of protest in Iran. So what do you don't live there? You're exiled.
I live there. My body is here. Physically, I'm here.
Yeah, you're here. Your heart is in Iran?
And my soul, my work, my people. I mean, those people who send me the videos and photos of the campaign, they are there.
Yeah. And what do you think when you see that?
Let me tell you something. I wrote a story in my book that my mom said that you were a naughty girl, and every time when you get, you know, kicked out from people from any room and you were locked out, you were able to find a window and get yourself into the same room. So the government of Iran kicked me out from Iran, but social media is my window.
Yeah.
Every day I am there. You know, I was the one actually, I grew up in a poor family, so we had a black and white TV, and I was the one watching always the policymakers, the mullahs, the clerics, the government, telling me what to do, what to wear, how to behave. But now they are watching me. So that shows there are millions of women like me. They broke the censorship through this campaign.
Right.
And now this campaign, actually the most popular campaign, an alive campaign about women's rights. Why? Because women like taking their rights back, taking the streets back, breaking the censorship, taking the media back, and all the government are talking about our protests. Before this movement, people were saying this is a small issue. You know, we have so many bigger problems in the Middle East. Let's solve the bigger problems. But if they don't let you to solve a small problem, they don't let you to control your head, how are they gonna let you to control what's going on inside your hair?
Right.
When they're not allowing you to solve small problem, definitely this government will not gonna, you know, allow you to solve bigger problems. So we broke this taboo and this like cliche that this is a small problem. No, this is about my body. This is about my identity. This is about my dignity. And now women are, you know, taking over, you know, and challenging the main pillar of the Islamic Republic of Iran.
Right. And those women are doing it at great risk. I understand they're being arrested. But, you know, here in New York, we would call you a woman with a lot of chutzpah, which is a lot, you know, a lot of nerve to be doing what you're doing. And you have to have nerves of steel to be doing what you're doing. And you're getting death threats, and you cannot return to Iran. And your family is not... You're not really connected with your family. I mean, what is that like?
Look, so I'm strong. It's not easy. It's not easy at all. Especially when I hear my government comes to New York in United Nations and they talk that, you know, we respect the women of Iran. We have absolute freedom in Iran. It breaks my heart. Because for me, it has been 9 years that I don't have the right to hug my family. My family don't have the right to leave the country and come here. And there are so many like death threats that I receive. The government of Iran calling me like the agent of CIA, the agent of MI6, the traitor, a lot of things. They call me even ugly duckling. They don't know the end of the story of ugly duckling. So, but they call me a lot, I mean, with so many different names. Sometimes they naming part of my body and shaming me. The Iranian state TV said that I was raped by 3 men in London because I undressed myself. These are so nasty things. But let me tell you something. I was crying from the beginning, like heartbroken, so sad, victimizing myself that why they do this to me. But now I feel that we are powerful and the government of Iran cannot do anything with us. They cannot control us. That's why they try to attack our sexuality.
But don't you think...
So I don't care about what they say. I look at the future and I go.
It's you know, it's a feminist movement in a very paternalistic country. And do you think most women would want to put themselves out there on the line when they could face jail time, fines, lashes, which sounds very scary?
That's a good question, but...
And it is a Muslim majority country. I mean, hijab is a requirement, right, of conservative Islam.
In America, how people gain the right to vote, they have been sacrificing their life. In England, I mean, you see the history. Women have been sacrificing their life. I was pregnant when I got into prison. It was a shame for my family that a pregnant woman, you know, actually, my family didn't know that I was pregnant because, as I said in my book, I broke another taboo. Before getting married, I got pregnant. So,
oh, boy.
So I had to fight for a lot of, you know, I had to push back for a lot of things. But the thing is, I sacrificed my life for freedom. I have been fighting for every single thing that I achieved. Freedom is not free, you know, and sometimes I get really homesick. But this is the way that we have to go all together. You know, there were a woman who sent me a video of herself, Shima Babai, in Iran, you know, the hijab processor, white headscarf and protesting in public. She knew this is a punishable crime. Yeah. And I actually warned her that I'm really worried about you. And she was actually sent to the court just because of taking part in White Wednesday's campaign. And then she went in front of the court. She took off her headscarf, the white headscarf, which it's like a flag against compulsory hijab. And she said that, you're putting me in jail, you threaten me, you're attacking me, you're shaming me, you just want to, you know, keep me silent. I take off my hijab and I say no to compulsory hijab even louder. So that woman actually are leading the campaign. They are giving me hope. There was another woman who put the headscarf on a stick and waved that in public. She got arrested. She was a mother. She just reminds me of the time when I was a mother and I was in prison. And I felt guilty. I felt, I mean, terribly guilty that I'm here, I'm safe, and she's fighting and she's putting herself in danger. How about her son? The day after when she got, I mean, not the day after, right after she got released from prison, I saw a picture of hers sending me on my Telegram and saying that, Masih, I am free. I'm really proud of you and proud of myself. Publish that. I am free.
Masih, here we are having sort of a revolution, a feminist revolution with the hashtag, with the Me Too movement, and women finally speaking out about sexual harassment and intimidation at the hands of men. And I'm wondering how that type of a movement, which your movement is, plays in very conservative Iran, if there's anyone listening.
Oh, that's really good question, because right now there is a new initiative in my campaign called My Camera is My Weapon. How? Because when women walking unveiled in public, they get attacked by some of the conservative, as you mentioned, that it's like, you know, there are a lot of Muslim women, they choose to wear hijab and we respect them. Like my mother, she wears hijab, and I have so much respect for my mother. But the thing is, we have to educate some of them that if I don't want to wear hijab, that doesn't mean I'm against you.
Right.
So now women filming those people who are attacking them and creating conversation. They're creating a debate, a public debate, because we don't have Iranian TV. We don't have any official media to talk about, you know, compulsory hijab and many other women's rights issue.
You would never be allowed on Iranian television.
No. Oh, with this big hair and like sitting like this? Never, never. But I'm sure they're going to watch us.
It's all controlled by the mullahs.
Yes.
Yeah.
So now people, they take to the street and using their mobile phone and became their own media. Women became their own storytellers in the streets of Iran. So they are listening to us. One of the women sent me a video of herself. She was just fighting with a conservative guy telling her that you are a whore because you don't cover yourself. And she was standing, she was so calm and said, I am not. I just want to live as, you live in Iran freely. And Iran is my country as well. And this video got 3 million views. No, let me just finish this one. There was another video of a woman she got bitten up by morality police, savagely, widely bitten up by morality police. That video went viral. Even the Western media, they always ignored us because they care about nuclear deal, not about human rights. So actually the Western media hurt us. The government of Iran hurt us. The supreme leader of Iran hurt us. And that means we have the power, and this is the right time to hear the voice of Iranian women.
Do women have a lot of power? Do they hold office? Are they part of the government in Iran? Are they allowed to drive?
This is a lot. I get this question a lot. Women of Iran are allowed to drive. What we want is this. More than 60% of university are women.
Right.
Women in Iran are really educated. But all these achievements, we have been fighting for it. There is nothing that the government of Iran, the Islamic Republic of Iran, gave it to us. We have been fighting hard to achieve this. And what we want right now, this is 21st century. And this is ugly that women are banned from entering a stadium. Women are banned from singing solo. I have a good voice, I can sing for you.
You can sing right here.
But this is horrible that women cannot be a judge. I'm not allowed to have the custody of my child. I'm not allowed to travel abroad if I don't get the permission from my husband. I'm not allowed to get a passport. I mean, these are horrible. But women in Iran, they are educated, and there is a huge gap between the government of Iran and the people of Iran. So that is why, no, we don't have the female minister. Women are not allowed to run the country. We are not allowed to, be president. But now women are actually the main agent of change in Iran. Trust me, change only comes through the women inside Iran.
So the feminist movement is coming to Iran.
Yeah, we have a hair revolution, the first thing.
I'm wondering, you said you grew up in a conservative Muslim family. What do your parents think of this?
This is the most difficult part of interview I always get, because I love my parents, I adore my parents, but I didn't want to, they don't support my campaign. Maybe easy to say that, but my mother had a great role in my life. She taught me how to fight for my right. Yeah. She didn't go to university, she's not able to write and read, but she was the true feminist in my eyes. How? Because in a village, she was the one working. She had her own office in the garden, growing vegetables and selling them to the people in the closest town in Iran. She was a street peddler, and she was, when my brothers were involved during the war, we didn't have any men in our house, and we didn't have inside bathroom. We had outhouse, and as I wrote in my book, actually, that anytime when I wanted to go to the outhouse, it was scary. Imagine the garden was black. It was pitch black, even blacker than black, if such a thing is possible. And it was really scary. Okay. My mom used to say to me that, if you really let your fear win, then the darkness can devour you. So just open your eyes as wide as you can. The darkness will disappear. Wow. This is the way that I learned to fight against all the darkness, because the human rights situation in Iran, like the mass execution after the revolution, like women's right abuse, like all the discrimination against the women, it's really dark. But we learn to open our eyes as wide as we can. That's why I don't want to talk against my parents. And I learned how to be brave, not victimizing myself, and fight more for my freedom.
Well, Masih, thanks so much for joining us. The Wind in My Hair, My Fight for Freedom in Modern Iran hits store shelves on the 29th of May. It is published by Little Brown. And you can find all of our Author Talks podcasts at WCBS 880 or on the radio.com app. Thank you for joining us. I'm Marla Diamond.